Hey guys, how you doing today? Elizabeth Morosco here. If you have been thinking about planning a business event, whether online or offline, this is a segment you definitely want to tune into. So, for those of you that don't know me, I have actually worked in the event industry for businesses for it's going on over 2 decades. It's been a very long time. And that included my initial start right out of college working at Ford Motor Company, and then eventually 10 years later taking a leap of faith, and then I started my own agency, and that was 18 years ago. And we have specialized in person events and marketing for 18 years with Brady Events and Marketing. And today we're going to roll up our sleeves, share a little bit of perspective on events, how they can be lucrative to your bottom line, and one of the most powerful marketing strategies you can do for your business, your nonprofit, your startup. So let's roll into it. You ready? All right. So my passion with events, it's always been there. I love events. I think that there can be so many opportunities for businesses to increase their exposure, get leads, solidify relationships, take things to the next level, and bottom line, increase your bottom line. So today we're going to do sort of an overview for marketing your event and how it can really play into your overall strategy. And it starts with you being willing to say, hey, I'm willing to take the risk and do an event. So I'd love to know from you if you have ever hosted a business event, whether in person or online. Drop me one. Let me know, yes, you have done that, because it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you've never done it before. Sometimes we think of just like quick cake and party and handshakes, but if you've planned an event, you know there's a lot that goes behind it. And like I said to you at the very beginning, I love events. I really do. And I think when you discover some of the things that I have helped my clients realize through properly hosting an event and being involved, the benefits are absolutely, they're wild, you guys. So we'll talk about that a little bit today. And let me see here. I've got one little slide thing that doesn't seem to be moving. So let me find out what this is. So, hey, Leslie, the fabulous Leslie. Yes, she has hosted many events, different kinds. And you know the power of events. And it can be sometimes small. It could be something really grandiose. But today we're going to talk about how events can factor a positive vibe throughout your whole business. All right. So I don't know if yesterday you happened to catch the quick live stream. It was an improv that I did focused on planning and preparing for 2024. This was one of the key sheets that I think it's a fundamental for any kind of project you're going to launch with your business, whether it's a new website or an event. You have to have an idea of what is your vision and what is your goal, because that becomes the whole root of how to create a strategy that's going to help you get there. So you want the vision, and then define the plan on how to get there. Along the way, make sure that you're defining your tasks and you're measuring to see, are you actually following through with what you tried to do? And if not, adjust. After event, this is a big spot that a lot of people drop the ball. Post event, this is an opportunity for you to review, to find out what revisions you can make so that you can make your next event even better. So, why start from scratch? Learn from each activity and just grow, 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 grow. So, now this is one of the things that's a little bit different about when you host an event online or in person is it's not just about satisfying what your needs are as a business owner. It's not. You've got three groups you got to really please: your own business for achieving your goals, also sponsors that are tied to your event. You've got to fulfill with the promises that you've made to them, and also understanding what are their wants and needs. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. And then also the attendees of your event, totally different category. Now, oftentimes the sponsors are trying to make a connection with the attendees or the community associated with that event. So you want it to be a positive experience. So they're giving raving reviews and they can't wait to come back. And I would say that this was probably one of my gifts working in events and marketing, was really being able to harness that whole energy of creating events where people, they were looking forward to it the next year. Like, I can't wait to see what they do next year. And it became a buzz of the town. You can do that too, but you've got to make sure that you're hitting those three areas. Is the event supporting your business goals? Is it supporting your sponsors' goals? And is it also providing what the attendees need for them to say, I love this event. I can't wait till next year. And with the right planning, this is something you can definitely do. And it's so exciting. So, going back to this idea of what do your sponsors want? What do your attendees want? One of the things that you have to understand, and you guys have heard this so many times with digital marketing, what's your avatar? Same concept. You've got to understand what are the things that are driving your sponsors? What are the things that are driving the attendees that would be interested in coming to your event? What barriers? What are things that could hold them back? It could be things like, is your business promoting a social agenda that maybe the sponsors don't agree with? Is your event hosting something that feels like it's a very expensive ticket item and they get lousy food and it's a terrible experience last year? They never want to repeat it. These are things that seem insignificant, but they will have a huge impact on your bottom line. The number of people that attend, the number of people that sponsor, and the number of people that show up. So you want to make sure that you're prepared to know what are the things that they want, what are things that are holding them back, and equally to all of this, you guys, right here, what products and services can be presented during this whole experience that can really benefit your sponsors, your attendees. Are they finding that they have more exposure if they're involved in your event? Are they getting additional support to be able to win big? There's things that you can do that are almost like seamless with the way that you're producing your event. But the problem is you've just, well, it's not so much a problem. The realization is understanding that they have wants and needs, and it's not just what you want. If you're just looking out for your goals, your own self-interest, it's like an individual one-time run. Most people aren't going to come back or say, that was wonderful. The host looked out for me. And this kind of goes back to, we did weddings for a long time with our agency. And you could kind of tell which weddings were the weddings that were going to be wonderful. And those were the ones that the bride and the groom were doing the proper thing. And they were hosting this wonderful celebration with their friends and family. And it became about their friends and family, not like the Bridezilla thing that you see on TV. It's all about me. Me, 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 me. It's not going to float with the attendees, and it's not going to float with the sponsors. So I would love to know from you, have you hosted an event that you had sponsors. And let me give you this prelude too. Just your thinking cap a little bit. If you haven't been in events and marketing, you might not know this, but your sponsors may not be just somebody who buys a sponsorship monetarily. It might be somebody who does media, partnering with your local news and media, TV, print, radio. There's a lot of collaborations that happen, and there's a lot of big money that can be saved to help you really level up your event. But you've got to be willing to look at things differently. Also, in kind donations. If you're trying to get your event maybe to this next level, and maybe you're tapped out on money to pay for expensive things that you want, is there somebody that you can collaborate with who can be your in-kind donor for, print or decorations or a special treat that your attendees get at the end of the night? Be creative with those things and help them position their business to get more eyes on them during your event. They will remember. So somebody who's maybe donating an in-kind cookie to put in a pretty little cellophane wrapper at the end of the event that has their logo on it and your event logo on it, it's a win-win situation. So those are things that are very simple but incredibly powerful, and so often looked by even the top-notch management. And I don't get it, because you're literally not serving your sponsors and your attendees, and those are the ones that are the heart of making your event a success. If you can remember that, you should be able to go incredibly far with your project, and it makes so many people happy where they're thrilled next year and they're saying, hey, when are we doing this again? Let's go. So now this is something, if you want, take a screenshot of this really quick. This is just a really general overview, if you will, of your event marketing sort of strategy. So it's broken up into two main categories: marketing and promotions, and then sales, support, and resources. Now, there's so many different ways that you can market your business. You can see, like over here, I have events highlighted right in red. And I think that events, honest to goodness, you guys, events are the most powerful way to market and promote your business, because there are so many different components that go into it. You can't help but to get recognition. So just remember that as you're going through, be willing to say, hey, I need an event, and I know that it's going to be more than just the day of. So things like promoting it, we'll talk about this a little bit more too. And this is, from the pre-teaser all the way to the end. All right, so this is another one, you guys. Take a screenshot of this. And this is general. This is just a general event schedule for planning out all of your media, all the things you got to do. Now, one of the things that I have found is way too often, we have people that are shooting out of the gates at 2 weeks before an event. They're like, I want to launch an event. I want to launch a whole idea. Well, you can, but the problem is when you have less time to plan and to prepare for your event, you're not really getting the full experience. When you're running, we'll say a very strategic event with a purpose to grow your business, raise funds, bring awareness, you need to have time to do all of the pieces that will make it possible, from your invites to press releases, to understanding what's your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? I remember, especially corporate days working at Ford, when we would finish, and these were big events, these like Consumer Electronics Show, Automotive Show, Detroit, Automotive Engineers Show. Those were not small tasks. These were multi-million-dollar events. And the day after we would finish that one event, we would start planning for the next year, because it takes time to create the properties, to create the content, to create the promotion, all the collateral that goes along with it. So understanding this is key. The other thing is that is really ignorant and lazy is when you have management and leadership that wait 2 weeks before an event and they think that they're going to pay the same amount and have a stress-free experience producing an event. That's not the case. If you're waiting 2 weeks or even a month before an event, you're going to pay what's called premium rates. This is for, I don't care if you're corporate America, you're having a wedding, or you're even having a baby shower. You have opportunity to do massive savings, be very strategic if you plan in advance. And really, it should be minimum. Like if you're doing a month and it's like an online quick seminar, you can get away with it. If you're producing a summit, a big workshop, a fundraiser, or branding launch, you need minimum 3 months. And that's tight. That is pushing it. So don't do that. If you want to show leadership for your business, your sponsors, and your attendees, you got to advocate for your own responsibility and planning and preparing in ahead, and realize that lack of planning on your time does not create an emergency for the vendors. If you want them to work in emergency mode, what's going to happen is you're going to pay a premium rate. So remember that. And the same thing with your staff. Like, let's say that you have a small staff. If you have, like, logically, let's say that you're not even, let's say you're working for somebody else and you have 3 months to plan out an event, and everybody's working a standard 40-hour work week. All right? And then you go the irresponsible way and you wait 2 weeks before, and now people are working 60, 70 hours and you're paying overtime because lack of planning. So I just want to point that out to you because I want you to win big with events. But the number one thing with events, it's about planning, it's about being prepared, and it's about having backup plans, because with events, stuff goes wrong. It's just a fact. All right, so getting into this really quick, let me just share this with you. Approximately 12 to 16 weeks out, you should be looking at defining your goals, creating your website, establishing what's your content, what's your message, what is your strategy, even creating your press releases, like early press release. Hey, just so you know, in 3 months, we're going to be hosting a workshop on health and wellness or doing this fundraiser. You give them teasers to build up excitement. The next part is promotional collateral that you're going to need, whether this is for your videos that you're going to do yourself or your press release. So many of you are doing these big events and you're not even sending out a press release or have a press kit with photos, collateral, content that the media can use to promote your stuff. PR is beautiful because it's free, but the problem is if you don't give them the stuff and it's not newsworthy, you're never going to get that exposure, and that is thousands of dollars. That's neglectful. If you're doing that as an entrepreneur or business leader and you're not looking at the resources that are out there that are free, just by you being strategic with your time and your team's time, it's shameful. So those are things that are really basic, that you don't have to have a college degree to do. You don't have to have really expensive software. You have to be prepared with your media kit and things that are needed for other people to promote your stuff. So make it simple, go after it. Also, even getting into your email marketing campaigns, doing things like in advance, 12 weeks. Hey, did you hear we are going to host a workshop that's focused on diabetes or focused on planning your wedding? Start teasing, building up momentum, intrigue people. Like, what is this about? I got to know more. If you build excitement and anticipation, people are going to remember. They're going to be curious. It's kind of like that cliffhanger. Well, what's this? What's next? All right, so moving into the next one. You get in, you're doing your launch, you're promoting, and then like a week or two before, this is when you get into really high gear, you guys, and start doing more posting on social media, memes, shorts, reels, being on top of their mind, consistently highlighting your event in your blogs, making sure you're doing rich SEO So even after the event, stuff is popping up about your wonderful event that happened. And going back after and following up with your sponsors, hey, did you like this event? What was your experience? What could we do better? Understand, did you serve their needs? Did you fulfill their desires? Did you take away pain? Did you bring joy? What can you do better at it? And the other one is, a lot of people, they just like ditch this. They're like, I'm done with the event, book it, done. No, 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 no. Archive it and have it where it's accessible so you can repurpose it. In fact, recently I had a client who had done a training series. This was over a year ago. It was during the holidays, and she needed something to put out there for the holiday, but she didn't have time to do recording. What was really cool is I was able to easily access her last event, extract out some stuff that she needed, and it was done. But if I wouldn't have archived it, knew where it was at, if I had to go digging for weeks, it wouldn't be worth it. But because I properly managed all the assets, it was easy to get to. So these are things I just want you to think about and really consider, because they're time savers that will help you in the future. Just like when you do an event and you build out a website for it, after you build it the first time, the first one's the grunge. After you build it the first time and then you just have to tweak and perfect, it's easier. It's not going to take 30 hours, 20 hours to build it, because now you're tweaking. It might take 2 or 3 hours. That's a lot better way to go, right? So this is one last thing I want to show you really quick. Yesterday, I did a quick training. If you didn't check it, you can go over and see it on the whoops, is this it? Nope. Excuse me one second, guys, while I try to get my screen back. Wait. I lost it. Did I lose you guys? Here we go. Oh, I might not be able to show you this. So anyhow, I have this worksheet that is super easy for helping you stay on track to really capture all of the details from, planning out when you're launching your website, your email. And if you want to check that out, if you go register at elizabethmorosco.com/Mary, I actually have all of the last 4 series that we did for Mary Marketing. And we ended up covering like lead magnets that you can do, strategies for increasing your reach online, understanding how to plan out your marketing strategy for 2024. All of those are on the replay page for people that do RSVP. So if you didn't RSVP, go check it out. elizabethmorosco.com/Mary. But anyhow, we are gearing up for an amazing 2024. This year, I actually have some pretty big announcements I'm going to be coming out and sharing with you guys in the next couple of weeks on some collaborations and different strategies that we're going to be doing with our agency to really help our clients level up. And I can't wait for you guys to see what we have in the pipe works for you. But this upcoming year, we're going to do a little bit more focus on AI and automation. I want to teach you guys some of the tools that I've been using in the background that have literally reduced my team's workload by 75%, and creating more efficiency in the way that we work is allowing us to do new things. And I can't wait to share this with you. Last year, I ended up becoming a backer for Groove AI. They're launching these new versions of it. It's incredible. It's powerful. It's literally creating this ecosystem of me being able to do all of my content creation and then easily integrate it over into my blog, my website. It's insane. So you guys, 24 is going to be the year for you to be comfortable with technology. So try not to be afraid. There's a lot of things that are going to shift and happen really quickly, but with the right support and the right tools, you can do some absolutely incredible things with your business that maybe you didn't even think were possible. All right, so you guys, trying to find my mouse here. I'm getting ready to sign off. I'm grateful you swung by. It was good to see you, Leslie. Let's catch up soon. And make sure that you're just taking care of your business. Don't let 24 start off on a flat note. We are in the first week of the year. Get your gumptions together. Start mapping out what is your goal, what are the steps you're going to get there, and be practical, you guys. All right, I am rooting for you. I am rooting for you. Go get him, Tiger. In the meantime, be good, be happy, and most definitely be blessed. Have a good day, guys. Bye.